our second episode.
It's the second one. I can't believe we're here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Oh, God.
I'm not going to sing because no one's going to like that.
No, I think it's great, but thank you for the gesture.
This is a really special episode.
It is.
Tori turns 30 tomorrow when this comes out.
I do.
She's leaving her 20s.
And I think this is a
She's saying goodbye.
relatable time for people.
Yeah.
I don't feel super emotional about it. Yeah. I'm excited for this episode. I know you're super thrilled because I
love birthdays. And I'm excited that you're turning 30.
Thanks.
You're coming to the other side.
Yeah.
I've been here for 2 years. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm not there yet, so hold your horses.
I mean, basically. Okay, so we're going to talk all things 30, turning 30, leaving your 20s. We're going to talk about how you feel.
I wrote a letter to myself.
I love it. We're going to read that. And we're
that's myself to my 20s. I wrote a letter to my 20s.
Okay,
it's
perfect.
super like woo-woo, but you know what?
I'm ready to hear it.
Okay.
And I'll probably cry.
I might cry. So this is an episode. This is like a trigger warning. You might cry. I don't know. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. I probably will.
I cry at everything, so I will cry.
Maybe we'll put some like emotional music behind my letter because I think that'll make it
far across. Okay, I'm singing too much.
No, I love it. Do your thing.
Okay,
I can't sing.
Before we get into that, though,
yeah,
do we want to talk about our new segment that we're going to be doing?
Yeah. So I was just thinking the other day that would be really fun because Chanel and I are coming from a real place just to do some real reviews of things that are trending on the internet or on TikTok or Instagram, things that friends have been talking about, and just, things that we find interesting and want to give a try.
Yes, love it. So
because Starbucks came out with their seasonal products recently and we're just getting into the Christmassy spirit, we thought it'd be fun to try some of their products. They're what are they called? Like seasonal specials?
Holiday drinks.
So we tried their holiday drinks. And do you want to go first with which one you tried? We tried different ones.
I tried the caramel brulee latte.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her if it's sweet because I don't really like sweet drinks or coffee. And I said, is it sweet? She said, yes. And I got 2 pumps instead of
too.
Oh my God.
But for
instead of the normal 5.
Oh wait, there's 5 pumps in that?
Yeah. I said, how many is there normally? She said 5.
That's a lot of sugar.
That's a lot. I know. So she said, do like 2.5. So I
mean, I'm not judging. If you like your coffee sweet, drink it.
Totally.
But like,
you do you.
That's a lot.
But it's a lot. So I got the caramel brulee latte and it was actually really good.
I didn't try it. Can you describe it to me? Because maybe I'll get it next time.
It kind of just tastes like a latte with cinnamon and vanilla. Like it didn't taste like caramel, like creme brulee. Oh, is it creme brulee?
I think I'm looking at the website right now and it says caramel brulee latte.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Okay, so did it taste more caramelly?
I didn't really taste that much caramel. It tasted more vanilla to me.
What milk did you get it with?
Oat milk.
Oat milk. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sometimes lactose intolerant.
Would you recommend or get it again?
I would recommend and get it again.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I liked it. I would definitely get it again. It's like $7. So, once a month. But
yeah.
But it was really good. And
it was a treat.
It was a treat. And I got it hot. I don't even know if you can get it iced.
I'm sure you could.
And it comes with whipped cream, but I didn't get whipped cream.
Oh, that was going to be my next question because when I was looking at the menu when we decided to try these out, I was like, oh, I don't want one with whipped cream. And I was curious if you were going to get it or not.
No, I didn't get whipped. I can't really have dairy, so I pick and choose when I have it.
Okay, that makes sense. But so you would get it again?
I would get it again. I recommend.
That's great.
Which one did you get?
I got the sugar cookie almond milk latte.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. It was one of those like weird days where it was kind of warm out. It wasn't.
It was like a random 60-degree day.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to do something warm right now, but like, I wanted something iced, and I like almond milk lattes. I'm not a latte person.
Oh wait, it was iced?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not a latte person. Like, it's just too heavy for me.
Oh, I love lattes.
Like, I like a coffee. Like, I'm a coffee person. Yeah. So like,
do you like black coffee?
I went through this phase when I was in college and I was like, I like black coffee. And then
sounds really hard of you.
Yeah, it was like it was super intense. And then it was just because I had an eating disorder that I didn't want to put milk in it.
Okay.
So we can talk about that another time. But so this sugar cookie almond milk latte, I did the same. I only got 2 pumps of the sugar cookie stuff because I don't like things too sweet. Like I like a little, like it's a hint of sweetness. And I love this. It tasted like a sugar cookie.
Really?
Yes. I would totally get it again.
Like shortbread kind of?
sugar cookie. Like,
I can't think
so
of sugar cookie.
shortbread's like not as sweet. Like a sugar cookie is like, I mean, sugary. I was pleasantly surprised. And then I thought it was hilarious today when I saw Starbucks posted, because I follow Starbucks.
You follow Starbucks on Instagram?
I do. I don't know
Do
why.
they post good content?
I don't know. This was like literally, I'm not even kidding. This was like the first time I've ever seen a Starbucks post in my feed.
Oh, that's funny.
They must have been like listening to me. But it was like what you should drink based on your signs for the holiday. It was like they did a drink and then a snack. And I thought it was so funny because yours was
Caramel brulee latte. It was Libra caramel brulee latte.
yeah,
and Sagittarius.
and mine was the sugar cookie almond milk latte.
What are the chances?
It was dead on. So then I actually like I was talking to Misha, was like, this is crazy. I mean, again, with the astrology, like you guys know me. And then I swiped over to see Cancer because he's a Cancer, and his was the peppermint mocha, and he was like, "Yep, that's 100% what I would get." So
Honestly,
Starbucks, your astrologer's great.
Who's your astrologer, and can we have them?
Can they
have
please
them
come on the show?
I love it.
It was so good. So I'm excited to try your version. What was it called?
Caramel brulee latte.
Yeah, and I think you might like mine if you like something iced.
I do like iced when it's like hot out, but I
Yeah.
feel like we've left that threshold.
Are you a pumpkin spice person?
No.
So here's my little secret.
Ooh,
And I learned this while working.
Okay.
Is you get a cafe misto and you put 2 pumps of pumpkin spice in it. And it's like a light version of a pumpkin spice latte because half of it's like steamed milk and then the rest is coffee. So
it's a cafe misto.
So half of it is steamed milk.
Oh, it's steamed milk.
Yeah, it's steamed milk.
So you get regular milk?
You can get whatever you want. Like I've gotten oat milk, I've gotten coconut milk, I've gotten regular milk. Like you can do whatever you want. But then the 2 pumps like make it taste special, and it's like it's almost like it's a fancier coffee, but not as like heavy as a latte. And okay, so I saw this on TikTok too, and I've been doing this for years. So I was like so happy when I saw someone else doing it, is that if you go into the Starbucks reward app and you do a cafe misto, it's like only 50 stars to get this drink. And it's like a treat, but like
like only 50 stars of your
rewards.
Why?
Because it's considered a hot coffee. So it's not like a latte. So if you're like trying to get some like extra seasonal flavor into your morning coffee, like this is a super easy way.
That's good because I only get lattes because admittedly I really don't like the taste of coffee.
You don't?
No. I think it's bitter. I don't love it.
You like a chai though?
I love a chai. I love a latte, a vanilla latte. I'll drink regular coffee like if I have to.
Yeah.
But this cafe misto thing, I feel like I
Too
might be into
coffee heavy.
it. No, I feel like I might be into it.
Okay.
If there's steamed milk involved, I feel like
we should try it on the next one, the real review.
Yeah. Do people want to hear us trying coffee?
They might.
Again.
I mean, like, let us know. So maybe we'll post in stories
or maybe a beauty product.
A beauty product. That's a good point. We want to talk about other things. So please email us or like DM us or just send things to us that like, you're like, hey, this girl was posting about this or this guy said this was a good recipe. Like, please just send it to us.
And we're going to try it and we're going to give you our real review.
Yeah, because I need some good holiday recipes too, like cooking.
Do you make stuff for the holidays? I feel like I just asked you what you made for Thanksgiving and you said nothing.
It's different for Christmas.
Okay, Christmas.
I mean, so usually I make like this corn pudding situation.
Oh, that sounds good.
Which one of our old coworkers used to make, and I like kind of adopted it and found a different recipe I like.
Oh,
like cornbread pudding or something.
Interesting. Yeah,
but I didn't make it this year. For Christmas, my mom and I make like a ton of cookies because we're Italian. Like if there's cookie recipes, I'm more of like a baker.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you more of a cook?
I just have one thing that I make every year.
For each holiday?
Yeah, like for Thanksgiving I make sweet potatoes.
Do you make candied sweet potatoes?
Candied sweet potatoes.
I've never had them.
I have them in the fridge. Wait, do you want to try them before you leave?
Is this a real review on
No, don't try them right now. They're cold.
Yeah, okay. No.
But I can heat some up for you before you leave and you can try
maybe.
it. Okay.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. And you're a vegetarian too, so they're vegetarian friendly.
Oh, perfect.
Made just for
that.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into the real stuff about
my birthday.
Your birthday. Starbucks threw us off track.
And you get a birthday drink from Starbucks.
Do they do birthday drinks?
Yeah, you get a free drink on your birthday. It used to be that you get a free drink during your birthday month, I think. And now it's just like
A day. Yeah.
Which it was kind of a bummer because then I'm like, I missed
is
it.
a long time.
Like maybe I wanted to, I just was busy. But anyways.
Okay. Back to your birthday tomorrow. The reason I'm here today.
This is the sole reason. Chanel just came to
I'm
talk
only
about
here
my
to talk about your birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're leaving your 20s, obviously. How are you feeling?
I feel like I haven't really thought about it yet. Like I've thought about it because obviously it's been on my mind, and it's just a weird thing because I almost feel like people make it a bigger deal than it is. Like it's not like you become a whole different person tomorrow. When I wake up, I'm going to be like, oh, this is a whole different Tori. Like I'm going to be the same, but I do think looking back, I recognize how I've changed in the past decade. That's a long time. Like
very long time.
How did you feel when you woke up and we're 30?
I agree with you.
30.
I felt the same. I think it was like a dooming age in my 20s.
Why do people think 30
know.
is
I know.
old?
I don't know. I truly don't think it is.
A long time ago when women were supposed to have babies when they were 18.
Yeah, maybe. It's maybe
and they were a spinster by 30.
Yeah, because when I was in my 20s, I was scared to turn 30. I was like, oh my God, am I supposed to have X, Y, and Z figured out? Am I supposed to be in this place? Mm-hmm. But honestly, I turned 30 and I was like, I feel the same. So I agree with you. You're not going to be a different person.
Probably also because we're in New York area, the Northeast. I'm very curious to understand what it would be like, the perception of someone South or a different country, even just to say what is turning 30 mean to you?
Yeah. New York is definitely different. It's a different atmosphere and environment. But I do feel in a way, turning 30, changed my mindset on a lot of things. Could have been because it was a pandemic also. I turned 30 in the height of COVID.
I remember I was so nervous about coming to your birthday because I was like, what if I get COVID? And I was living with my parents.
Legit.
And
it was crazy.
It's one of those moments you want to celebrate. And it was fun. I had so much fun coming.
It was an outdoor brunch.
Yeah.
It was when it was kind of dying down, but people were still wary, which is understandable. So I did a small intimate brunch outside. But I think that I calmed down a lot in my 30s.
Do you think it was because you turned 30, or is it because of the pandemic?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Yeah. I will never know, honestly.
I know. Because let's just think about where we left each other before the pandemic. I mean, and this podcast isn't about to where were you when the pandemic happened? It's
it's just because a lot of our big moments happened during the pandemic.
Yeah. So I was 2020. How old was I? I was 27.
Yeah, I was 29.
Okay. And so you were just about to turn 30.
Yeah.
And I left and I was really looking forward to the end of my 20s, kind of just
closing them out, going out, having fun.
And I saw what you did in your late 20s. You had a lot of fun because you were with me, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But I always looked up to you in that way where I was like, oh, Chanel, it was kind of
you were Chanel's in her late 20s and still going out.
Yeah, it was so silly. I was just oh, turning 30 doesn't need to mean this.
Yeah.
You're kind of it's more about your attitude and how you treat life. And I think a lot of our friends and family would say and I say this all the time, in my mind, you're always 21. Even I didn't know when you were 21, but you bring that lively youthfulness to you. But you can carry that with you wherever you are.
I know. And I hate that it's always become a thing that oh, you're turning 30. Mm-hmm. It's this whole life-changing thing. Oh, you're so old. I don't want this.
You're not even so old.
I know. No, that's what I'm saying.
I know.
I don't want that to be the conversation. I don't think that should be in the conversation. I think when people turn 30, they're still young, they're still lively, they're still full of life, and it's everyone just feels this daunting feeling when they turn 30 and oh my God, I'm gonna be 30, and it makes what have I accomplished, what have I done? And it's and I was watching this TikTok actually today, and it was this guy talking about turning 30, and
you know who he was?
No, I don't.
Oh, shoot.
But he did a stitch with another guy who was oh, do I look 30? I'm turning 30 tomorrow. And the guy came on and he's well, no, what is 30 supposed to look like? And he was I think we just grew up in a culture of Forbes 30 under 30 and what have you accomplished? And
that's so true. So much pressure.
So much pressure.
I feel 30 under 30 makes you think that you're not achieving things in life.
Yeah. You're I didn't do anything to
it's great, and I'm not trying to mean other people's accomplishments. I'm not trying to demean anyone's accomplishments, but it just makes you feel like what you're achieving isn't enough. What else are you achieving in your 30s that like maybe isn't that's just American culture, I think, is where like your self-worth is a lot about your job and where you've come in society. Like there's so much more
To life.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd like to talk about that in this episode about like, you know, what happened in my 20s and like it's Tori's 30s under 30s.
Tori's 30 under 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh my God,
let's talk
30
a little
things.
bit
That's too
about
much.
your 20s because
There's just like one more point I want to make.
okay, yeah, go ahead.
So thanks. When you said like, you know, I think that that outlook of when you're thinking 30 is old, then that sets you up for the rest of your life. When you're like, oh, 40's old, 50's old, like no, you could be 65 and still feel young. Like I think, and I've seen this because like my grandma's 102, like,
Oh my God, bless.
right? And she acknowledged that she was an older woman, but like her mindset was like, I can do this. I'm healthy, whatever. Like with that attitude, I think it makes a big difference in your life and how you approach things.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think no matter your age, whether you're 30, whether you're 40, I think you
50,
should just
60,
yeah,
100.
just do you. Do what makes you happy and like don't worry about the number. Okay, so talking about feeling pressure in your 30s, do you feel any pressure on turning 30?
I don't right now. I think when I was younger, I definitely pressured myself into thinking, where would I be when I turned 30? And that picture, I will tell you that, like, I thought by 27, I remember this. I was like laying in my childhood bedroom where I was like, I think by 27, I'll have a kid. And I'm like looking back and thinking of where we were at 27.
At Gem Saloon?
We were at Gem Saloon. We were at 310 Bowery. We were bopping around, going to bars, having fun, late night pizza. And like, you know, I'm not going, like, I don't feel the pressure that I didn't achieve the where I thought I would be because I had so much fun and I lived my life to where I'm okay now. Like I didn't feel pressure. And I think when you think back on what you achieved by turning 30, like I achieved a lot. And it's like looking back right now, it's like, damn. And this kind of comes up in my letter to myself, like your 20s, and I know everyone says it, like they're formative years and you do so much. So it's just like you feel a lot of pressure in your 20s, but I don't think you feel as much pressure when you turn 30.
So you think all the pressure is when you're in your 20s and then once you turn 30, it's like pressure's gone.
I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
still feel pressure. Like I'm not married. Like I don't have kids.
Yeah.
Am I where I want to be in my career? I don't know. But like I think I'm learning that pressure was like, what am I going to achieve in my 20s? And figure like so much more than like
what you're going to figure
what
out
I'm going to do
by
in my
30.
30. Yeah.
And then once you turn 30, it's kind of like, okay, well, this is what I did. And now I'm going to continue doing the same thing I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like you're setting all these like goals by a certain time.
And that's not
And
realistic.
then the time comes, yeah. And you're like, okay, well, I can still achieve the goals.
Yeah.
Like the time came, I didn't do certain things that I thought I was going to do. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have children or get married. No.
Why do we
obviously
love
you're going to do
a
that.
time frame? But like, why?
I don't know.
You
Are
know,
you asking me? Is this?
I'm just like in general, like I'm just asking in general, like why do we feel as like humans that we need a time frame to do things? Like I guess you want to like have benchmarks and know what your goals are and blah blah blah, but like it just adds so much unnecessary pressure on people.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that like you were saying before, it doesn't need to be by a certain age. It doesn't need to be, it can be by like 40, 50. Like if that means that that's the right time for you to find yourself in your career, then that's the right time to find yourself in your career.
100%. Like, and this goes back to like us even doing the podcast. Like we didn't feel like the time was right in our 20s. Like looking back, had we done it sooner, who knows what would have happened. You just have to take the time like as you're going through it and recognizing like where you are, what you want to do right now, and then it will, I think, pay off later.
Yeah.
As you go on.
What's appropriate for you at the time.
Yeah.
Like just because for you at 27 you weren't ready to have a kid doesn't mean that someone else at 27 wasn't ready to have a kid.
Yeah.
That's just how you were going through your 20s.
And the reason why I wanted, like, I thought 27 was a good number was because, like, my parents got married when they were in their 30s. And, like, my mom had me when she was in her 30s. And I
Oh
love,
my gosh, I didn't know that.
yeah, I love my parents so much. And I was just like, I want more time. If I have a family, I want more time with them. But, like, it doesn't mean that you can't have the most time with them. You do what's right for your family. And, like, looking back and having conversations with my mom when she was in her 30s, she was like doing her career. My dad was in law school. Like they were living their lives and they were achieving their goals and what they wanted out of life before they got married. And, like that's kind of like that standard that I had was like, you didn't have to get married when you were in your 20s and have kids and everything. It was like, you achieve what you want to achieve. And then when you feel like the time is right to get married or have kids, like you do that. And so like, I did have that influence on me, which I think was really good because I didn't feel that pressure of like, oh my God, my mom was married at 26. I'm not married,
Yeah. I think there's like obviously some people who just are ready and, 26 comes along and they're like, I feel ready. I've met the person that I want to marry. I think this is the correct next step. I think after this, like kids or whatever it is for them. But I think like you have to introspectively look and be like, is this right for me?
Right.
Like you can't force it. Like if you're with someone and you don't feel like, even if you've been with someone for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever the case is at 28, you can't be like,
I'm turning 30. I need to get married.
Yeah, you can't be like, I'm turning 30. Like, I need to get married and have kids. Like, if it doesn't feel right for you in the moment and you still feel like you want to go to Gem Saloon and have 3 a.m. cab rides with pizza, like, do that. Like,
or if you want to, like, change your careers, do that.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be about the number. It should just be about how you're feeling in the moment and, like,
totally.
Just go with what feels right for you and stop looking at outside. I feel like the pressure never ends, honestly. I feel like when you're single, everyone's like, when are you getting a boyfriend? And then you get a boyfriend. It's like, when are you getting engaged? And then you get engaged. And it's like, when are you getting married? It's like, the pressure never ends.
It doesn't matter your age.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter your age.
And then it's like, when are you going to retire?
Yeah.
It's like, wait.
I'm like, tomorrow.
Yeah. The pressure to retire, please. Yeah. But no, that's so true.
I feel like it never ends. So honestly, just do what feels right for you because it keeps going. So you have to.
It's just life.
Yeah, you have to just do what feels right.
And what your age is shouldn't be a pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking forward, what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to? Are there any things on your 30s bucket list?
I think what I'm looking forward to is like I'm definitely in a more mature point in my career. So like seeing where that takes me. Is it like, I went from being an assistant to a coordinator to an assistant manager, and now I'm in a manager role and like just seeing how my career progresses. And now I'm like in a healthy relationship that I value and I'm very curious to see how that grows. And I feel like the outlooks of love and what a partner means have changed a little bit. So I'm like very curious to see how that grows, not changes, but grows. And yeah,
how old is Mitch again?
Mitch is my age, but he's 6 months younger than me. So he turns 30 in June.
Oh my gosh, he hasn't turned 30 either.
Yeah, but Mitch is like that same person that's like forever young. I've been saying like I'm going to thrive in my 40s since I was like
22.
I just feel it. You know what? I feel like that's when I know. But yeah, so I think the 30s is just exciting and it's nice to know like you're growing with people. And that's like something I'm looking forward to seeing is like how I continue to grow with friends and family. And like this is a growing period. Like my brother's getting married and my other brother like is finding out his career. So I get excited about seeing what's happening for other people during this time too.
You're like celebrating you, but also everybody else around you.
Yeah, I am.
Wait, so you're the middle?
What?
No,
you're the oldest. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it's me.
I always think Dan's the oldest for some reason. I don't know why.
It's the beard. If I could grow a beard, you would think I was older too.
So do you feel like being the oldest has like had its challenges, had its like
I think
your 20s?
In my 20s, I'm also the only girl.
Right.
So that's a whole different ball game too, is like, I'm the oldest, I'm a girl. It's just figuring out what your path is. And like, I've had to figure that out because I like didn't have an older sister, didn't have an older brother or whatever. And like, that's definitely been impactful on my life is like leading that kind of charge. But I don't know, like, I think we're very different. And like,
how much younger is Dan from you?
He's 2 years younger and then Pat's 6 years younger.
Okay.
So Dan and I are closest in age. But we're both Sagittarius.
Oh my God, when's
Sagittarii? He's in November. He was a few days ago. And
happy birthday, Dan.
We went to a bar and did karaoke. It was so much fun.
So fun. What's your karaoke song?
Mine, I did Stacy's Mom.
Good one.
Yeah, and Mitch had to help me because I was a little nervous.
Oh, you like didn't want to sing?
I didn't want to sing.
What? And was that the only song you did?
No, and then I did like another song with Melissa, my best friend, and like we had fun. And she's actually really good at karaoke. And I'm surprised because she's like usually shy too. So she got up there and just started singing, and I was like, "You go, girl!"
Something about the microphone when you're up there just takes over.
But it was funny because I was thinking when I was up there, I was like, "How come I'm so comfortable at the podcast speaking, but I'm not?" Like I got up there and I was literally like, my hands were. I was like, "What do I do with my hands?"
Well, it's because people are staring at you.
Yeah, I mean, they were all drinking.
Right now, it's just me in our kitchen.
Yeah, it's
my
true.
kitchen.
It makes me feel
our kitchen.
This is our kitchen studio. So, but yeah. So we had fun for his birthday, and but I think as an older sister too, it's given me perspective on how to help my brothers. Like everyone's on their own journey, but with the 6-year difference too, I feel like I'm able to give more advice to my younger brother. Just because he's in his early 20s or like mid 20s, and like now I'm like he comes to me and asks me for advice and and I can definitely like I feel good knowing that like I can be like, hey, I went through this too. If he's feeling a certain way, I could say like, yeah, I experienced that type of heartache, or I experienced that type of struggle at work or whatever, and like this is what I did. It might not help you. It might, but like this is what I did. If take it or leave it, and I think that's applicable to anyone. And it's just being able to have those conversations with people older or younger, whatever it is.
I like that he had you to come to.
Yeah.
I think that's like really special because not a lot of people have an older sibling, like you said, like you didn't. So who did you go to, or how did you figure things out like as you were growing up?
Definitely just talk to my mom.
Oh.
And yeah, like my mom was my biggest resource and friends, and yeah, that's a really hard question. Like, who did you talk to?
I read a lot of magazines.
Magazines, yeah. Oh my God, 17 magazine, Girls Life,
YM, 17 magazine.
What was YM?
You never read YM?
What was YM?
Oh my God, is this me, me being older than you right now?
I mean, by what, a few years. What was YM?
But maybe it was a significant year. It was like a 17. I don't know. It was like very like girly and like advice. They had the questions columns that I would always read, and I was close to my mom too. But I also had my older brother.
Oh, that's true.
So
what was it like having an older brother?
We have a big age gap. He's 12 years older than me.
Oh wow.
So it was interesting because like we didn't live in the same house. So like I kind of grew up with just me and my mom, but he was there for like big life things. Like he was always there for like traveling, and when I was going to college, he like helped me with my college app, like all that kind of stuff.
That's nice.
So it was nice to have him for those big moments.
Yeah.
But we just didn't grow up in the same house.
Yeah. Oh, so you had like you had someone to go to.
Yeah,
like,
I had
like
a go-to. But it's also different, like having a brother who's 12 years older.
Boys are just different.
That's why I had to read YM.
Yeah.
Questions columns.
You, and this is like to a specific demographic or like generation. Do you remember the American Girl? Like
the American Girl dolls?
Book? No, the book. Like it was like You, I think it was called American Girl Doll You, and it like told you about your hair and puberty and like all of these things. Oh my God, I remember I got it for my birthday from like one of my family friends. It was from Amanda's. Amanda gave it to me, but it was like her mom obviously bought it. And I feel like that was like your kind of guide to like becoming a woman. I just remember I got it for one of my birthdays, and it was like everyone got it.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just so funny. Like I feel like kids now can look things up, and
they can Google, they can research, they can do more than read magazines. I mean, I feel like the internet was like a thing, kind of.
It was, but it was a scary place.
Yeah,
it
wasn't as available as it is now.
Yeah,
you just go on TikTok now, and you can find a question.
I know, and that's really helpful. Or you can find a podcast.
Like you can find a podcast. Yeah. Okay, so you're looking forward to a lot in your 30s. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for you. What are you doing for your birthday?
I'm having a party with some of my family and friends, and that's all I wanted to do was just to get my family and friends together and just celebrate. I feel like because of the pandemic, we haven't had like time to really come together as friends and family, and like everyone's lives have just been in so many places since the pandemic, trying to like catch up. So I just wanted to like get people together and like have some drinks and food and hang out.
Love it. I'll be there.
Yeah. You'll be there.
What are you wearing?
My mom made a theme, so I might post a throwback picture of what I'm like, what the inspo is for Can I
Oh, the
post
baby
it?
Tori picture?
Can I post it on Instagram?
Yeah, post baby Tori.
Okay,
She's
so that's the inspo for the party. I mean,
It was your dance costume when
it
you
was
were
my
like
dance costume
7.
when I was like, no, I was maybe like 5. I don't know. When I was a kid,
I don't know how old
I don't know.
how old
Kids
kids are.
It's like when someone's 30, but you don't know any other age after. You're like, is that a 12-year-old?
1 to
Is she
12
16?
is
18? Yeah.
blurry for me.
You have no idea. But yeah, so that's the party, and we're just gonna have some food, drinks. It's a dog friendly bar.
Oh, are you bringing Rhodey?
Yeah,
Oh my
Schmitty's in
God.
Hoboken.
Amazing. I'm so happy Rhodey can
And
celebrate with
the
you.
Rhodey Bodes is gonna be there. I picked it because he can come.
Oh, you
with
were like, I need dog friendly because Rhodey needs to be
us.
here.
Yeah. I just, you know what? Hoboken's worked out so lovely for me because I can just bring him
Yeah, there's so
everywhere.
many dog friendly places there.
Yeah, it makes life more enjoyable.
Those were not the type of Hoboken places I went to
No.
in my 20s.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can imagine what Hoboken places you went to in your 20s. I see them. I know people that go to them.
I know. I pass by now at like 9 o'clock at night, and
Like
I'm like
Texas,
going over
Arizona.
to your
Yeah.
going over to your apartment to work on stuff. So I feel like now is a good time for you to read your letter to your 20s.
Oh, okay. I want to add some music over this because I feel like it will make it more emotional.
Are you putting music on?
No, not right now.
Okay.
But I'm just,
In the editing
phase. I don't know how this is going to be.
Okay.
But I just I thought it would be a nice exercise because a lot happened and
I think it's important. I'm excited to hear it.
yeah. Okay.
I'm ready. Everyone's ready.
I also I love writing.
Yeah.
So
this is a good exercise.
yeah, and I haven't really published any of my writing. I haven't
This is you
shared,
publishing your writing.
yeah, in spoken form. I haven't shared any writing since college.
Wow, that's a long time.
I know. So this is kind of like a big moment. Thank you for joining me here.
I love it. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Dear 20s, you were a decade that made me the woman I am today, writing this letter. During this time, I got to know myself. I entered this chapter as a college student, unsure of so many things. Who and what would I become? Where would I live? And would I be able to support myself? Who would be there to support me? Would I find love? And so on. And now, so many of those unknowns have been answered. These 3,650 days have each taught me something valuable that I will continue to take with me into my 30s. Not to be cliche, but there were good times and there were bad times, and there were times that were just that time. But looking back, this decade was a pivotal part of my life. I found my career. I moved throughout New York City. I faced challenges that made me look inward and towards unresolved issues. I changed jobs. I traveled new places. I had difficult conversations with family and friends. I loved so hard and lost. I had people enter my life during this time, and I had people leave my life too. I had late nights out and early mornings on trains home to my family. It was a journey through and through. So, dear 20s, although it feels like you came and went quickly, it's time. I'm not as unsure of myself now as I was at 20. I know who I became and who I am becoming. I know where I live doesn't matter as much as who lives with me in my heart and at home. I know how to support myself and to surround myself with people who are willing to support me. And I know I found love. Love that has always been there, love that is new, and love for myself. So thank you. Love, Tori.
Oh my God. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I love that, Tor.
Maybe I'll post it on the Instagram.
I think that was so beautiful.
Thanks.
It's so good. I just
Thanks.
feel like you hit on everything that people are thinking in their 20s. You
Aw,
know?
Thank you.
Like, am I going to find love? Am I going to
Dude,
okay?
it feels like a
so good.
a cliche movie, but it's so true.
So,
I started crying when I was writing.
I was just gonna say, like, what brought you to this place? Like, how did you write this? Did you like, go into a mental space or think back to certain memories?
So I have been doing this program called the Mind Body Revival Project, and during this program, you do a lot of free writing, and I put some music on, and I just kind of treated this as a prompt, and I think I just was okay, this is a letter to my 30s. I mean, to my 20s, excuse me. This is a letter to my 20s.
I'm already 40.
Just thinking about and it took a few seconds. I had to actually think and get in the zone. And then I was just okay, why am I writing this? And it kind of just flew out from there.
I think it's perfect.
Thanks. I do too.
Hit all the points.
Without,
I think it was beautiful.
and as someone that knows me,
yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way about your 20s? Did you feel the same way about your 20s?
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously we have different perspectives when you look back just as humans. Like, I
Totally.
think you can look at your 20s and, see different things. But I think what you wrote is like perfect for you.
Oh, thanks. Because
Like,
you witnessed
the early
it all.
morning trains to your family. Are you kidding me? Like, you would be out with me until like super late and then like wake up super early to go home to see your family. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly like who you are.
Yeah. And I feel like a big part of what I experienced in my 20s was like just figuring out who I was, and like there were things I just didn't know about myself from like growing up, and it's not like to the fault of anyone, but like I just learned that I have anxiety and depression in my 20s, and that was like huge. And it was not until I had a really bad breakup that I discovered this, and like so many things just like kind of happened in my 20s that like were like a blessing in disguise, I guess you can call it. And now it's like I feel like because of that, I'm a stronger person, I'm a stronger woman. Like there's so much happening in your 20s, and you feel, at least I felt like I didn't know what the answer was going to be. Like I felt like I was so nervous and like had so many unopened or unanswered questions, like who, what, where, when, how, why. And then it's like looking back, I'm like, okay, just think about those things I came into New York thinking, like, would I have a job? Then like we already talked about, like we started working together, like who's going to support me? And like I had friends that just didn't want to continue friendships, and that's okay. But like it also made room for new friendships that have like helped me and like stood by me. And you just learn so many different things, like even just where you're gonna live. Like you get to choose that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like you have all these like questions that you just come into and you're just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And sometimes I just remember being like in my mid-20s being like, I just want the answer already. Like I wish I could just like look forward into
So
like a crystal
impatient.
ball. Yeah, so impatient. And
Yeah.
just like know what's gonna happen. And if it's funny, like if I would have known it would have worked out this well, I would have enjoyed some of my 20s better. Like, I
Me
feel like I would
too.
have been in the moment more. So much of it was like, what's going to happen? Where am I going to end up? And like, we still haven't ended up where we're going to end up. Like, there's still so much
I
life
think
to
you
live.
learn that, and there's more to life than where you are now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's my biggest takeaway, I think, honestly, from looking into like back in my 20s and into my 30s. Like, there's more life to live. You're going to figure it out. You might not know the answer now, maybe not tomorrow, but like 10 years from now, things will make sense.
Yeah. I think I've learned to live in the moment a little bit more now.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if it's because like, I feel like I was saying, like, because I had so many questions and like, I was like, oh, they were answered. I'm like, they will get answered no matter what it is. Like, they'll get answered. You'll figure it out. It all falls into place. Honestly, like every time I go through a hardship, hardship.
Every time I go through hardship.
Every time I go through a hardship, I'm like, it's going to fall into place. Like
Yeah.
life throws things at you. Like
It does. I mean,
life be doing it.
some of the things I went through in my 20s,
Yeah.
never in a million years would I be like that. I'm going to go through that.
Yeah.
And I did.
And I'm going to come out on the other side. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you did. And I did. And I think that like in the moment you don't think you are. And knowing that you can go through those things, I think that's what helps you live in the moment a little bit more.
And the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah. The support you have.
The support. That's the biggest thing I think I found out in my 20s. And like, I mean, not the biggest. Like, I found out so much about myself, but like also like that people actually do want to support you, you know? And I mean, outside of family, your family, like my family's always supported me, but it's like those friends that continue to show up, that continue to like I mean, you were really patient with me for so many reasons, like dealing with a friend that has like anxiety or whatever. Like, you were supportive of that. You never made me feel less than or like didn't understand or didn't take the time to not think about my position and why I might be thinking that. And that's so important because it makes a difference for me, you know,
Right.
as a person, to know that I have a friend that's willing to invest. And like, I mean, I have a great network of friends that just actually care about you. I think something too is like you have the superficial friends, and then you find out who the real ones are.
Yeah.
Where it's like they genuinely care. They're like your family, not just your friends.
Yeah. And I think like on the other side of it, like I just think it's so important to not like judge or be quick to place blame or like look at things as like a weakness. I think even for me, like I've learned so much from you. and you think that I'm like being, supportive or understanding, but like even you with like the things that you were dealing with and I was dealing with, like I've learned things from you as well, even in those moments that, we had hardship or why can't I say that word?
Hardship.
Hardship.
It's a hard word.
So I think no matter what on both sides, like you can learn something.
Yeah. It's just taking the time.
Yeah. To understand each other and to talk about it and to communicate and like no matter what, you can learn something from someone.
Totally. And I think just like having the ability to listen, that's not a skill that everyone can have. And it's something that's extremely valuable. And like letting people talk and letting people
just vent sometimes.
And, maybe you don't have the answers for them, but
sometimes I do that though.
It's fine. But you know what? You have the resources. It's just knowing the support's huge, especially in your 20s. Like you need a supportive network. And if someone's not going to support you,
just reevaluate.
Yeah. I mean, I was upset. Like I just couldn't fathom like why people might not want to stick around or whatever. Like you date people, you have friends, blah, blah. But that's okay. In the end, like maybe you're better off.
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason.
It does. I mean, that's so super cliche, and I feel like that's the thing. It's like these cliches sometimes work.
You say cliche funny.
How do I say it?
Cliche?
Cliche.
Is that how you say
cliche? Cliche.
Cliche.
Cliche. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a poll. How do you pronounce cliche?
Or see, you say cliche.
Cliche. Oh, cliche.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Do you want to end on? Well, I have a little surprise after this.
A surprise?
Yeah, it's fine. But
the last time I had a surprise, I like cried on the floor. Because like my parents threw me a surprise party and I was so thrown off that I didn't know how to react. So I
wasn't there. When was this?
It was when I turned 21.
Oh, okay.
So you weren't there.
I didn't know you. That's fair.
Yeah.
Do you want to share your favorite memory from your 20s?
From my 20s.
It could be anything, small, big. It could be with me.
Oh my God.
It could just be going to 310 Bowery and eating pizza with me.
I think that's my favorite memory with you is, we would have some fun going out at night and
we would have some fun going out.
It was fun. I mean, sometimes I look back, I'm like, who were we going out that late? And like, I'm in bed by like 10:30.
And that's not an age thing. That's an us thing.
That's an us thing.
I'm just tired.
Yeah. If you need a rally, you will.
Yeah.
We'll show up.
We'll show up. But
2. It's like, I've learned, that's one of the things I've learned is like, it is kind of better when you're home in bed and just like
that's one of the things you learned
since like
you've known that
forever. I'm just reiterating sometimes
being home in bed is nice.
Well, yeah, being home in bed is nice. Like, why do you really need to be out at the bars at 4 a.m.? You don't.
It felt necessary.
It did at the time.
But then now I'm like to do.
Go to bed.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Wait, what was your question?
Your favorite memory?
I don't know if this is just me. Like, I think of all the hard things right now, but I'm trying to think of the positive things. Because, like, my 20s were hard.
Yeah.
I went through so much in my 20s.
Yeah.
Like, health things and just, like, family things. And, like, I'm trying to think of... But, like, I think that's... The good things, like, that's a good lesson is that sometimes good things are overlooked because you can be so bogged down by the bad things sometimes.
That's true.
Things. I mean, I think I can't pinpoint like my favorite memory of my 20s. I got to travel. I like traveled with my family. I traveled with my friends. Yeah, highlights. I traveled with my family. I traveled with my friends. It grew in my career. I met someone I really love.
That's a highlight.
I got a dog.
You met Mitch and you met Rhodey.
Yeah.
Rhodey, who you didn't know.
Okay, so should Rhodey just be my highlights no matter what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Answer is always Rhodey.
The answer is always Rhodey. Rhodey came into my life almost 2 years ago, and I didn't know Mitch got Rhodey without telling me, and then I don't know. He's become my dog, and like he's my soul pup. I mean, he's not my favorite memory of my 20s. Like, he's definitely up there. I just have too many memories. So I think that I can't answer it. The answer is there is no answer, but I've had a lot of highs and lows, but
I think that's the appropriate answer.
Yeah, but I think that actually I have one of those 5-year journals.
What is that?
It's like you write a memory a day for 5 years.
Wait, did you do it already?
I have one. Yeah, I stopped because like it got to be a lot during the pandemic where I was like,
You were like, I'm home again.
I felt like
Day
Castaway where I was
37.
like, I'm stuck on this
I'm
island. Yeah. So I stopped during the pandemic, but maybe I'll do that. I'll take a look at how I was feeling 5 years ago.
And see like if anything sparks memory, or maybe you wrote something in there that's like
Maybe. I'm sure I did.
that's like great or profound.
I wouldn't count on that, but
You're like, again, it was during the pandemic.
yeah. So today I ate cheese. I ate cheddar cheese.
That sounds great to me, honestly.
Oh, this was a fun episode.
It was. Okay, so now
Yeah.
we celebrate.
We're celebrating. Oh my God.
I got you champagne.
I can't.
And we're going to pop it now.
Did you know I have a tradition
What?
of that I like get a new champagne bottle every like birthday?
No.
So like I pop the one that I got from the year before.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get you one this year.
Okay, that's
and
fine.
you can pop it next year.
Perfect. I love it. Okay.
And right now we're popping champagne. Woo!
Yay!
Cheers to you, Tori.
Yay, Tori turns 30.
Tori turns
Oh,
30.
this has been such a special episode.
I know. I love this
Our
for you.
second episode.
I know.
Oh my God.
I'm just so excited to see what you accomplish. I'm so excited to celebrate you this weekend.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so excited to wear pink to your birthday.
Yeah. A few of my friends are excited to wear pink, and I'm like, what am I going to wear?
Well, when you figure it out, maybe you should post it.
Okay, I will. Yeah, and maybe in stories.
We have a link tree, don't we?
We
What's
do.
that? Oh, the
We have a
little
link
thing in our
in bio.
Yeah. So maybe you can post your B-Day outfit once you decide it.
So I bought a few different things. I bought a velvet. Once you see the picture, it's going to make. Well, you saw the invite picture, but if,
Let's pour. Also,
okay,
let's
we're
pour
gonna
the
pour some
champagne.
champagne.
Hold on.
But for those of you listening, my picture is like of me in a dance recital costume that's like pink velvet with feathers and sequins. So I bought this like pink velvet bodysuit from Good American for like a Black Friday deal.
Have you shopped at Good American before?
I have, and I bought this Sagittarius sweatshirt, and I'm obsessed with. It's like my favorite sweatshirt.
I've never gotten anything from there. Cheers.
Cheers! Yay!
Hope you guys heard that.
So I actually like Good American. I haven't bought jeans though.
Which is like their main thing.
Yeah.
I feel like they have so many options. I don't want to make the wrong choice buying.
And their sizing's a little bit different.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think it's more like, I think there are more options. For sure. I'm curious how this bodysuit's going to fit.
Yeah, I'm excited. I saw it. It looks really cute.
Thanks. And then I bought this other bodysuit from Free People. I just said Free People.
I was like, wait, what?
I said it really funny. From Free People. And it has like this tutu kind of, I don't know,
tutu?
off the
That
shoulder.
is the most on you thing I've heard of.
It's pink with like tutu at the shoulder. It's like off the shoulder.
The more you talk about it, the more I'm like, this doesn't sound like you at all.
I know. It's for the theme. It's for the
I'm doing it for the theme.
Doing it for the theme.
The velvet bodysuit sounds cute because you do love a good bodysuit.
And
yeah.
I currently have a sprained ankle and a soft cast.
Oh.
So I have to like figure out the shoe situation.
Yeah.
So I can link my
You sprained your ankle
cast.
a few weeks ago, which honestly I've done twice. And you went to the doctor, and now you're in a little soft cast.
I am.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
in a little soft cast and a shoe thingy.
But you'll be fabulous nonetheless.
I will. You know what? And it's not about how I look. It's about how I feel.
Preach.
So it's going to be a good time.
On that note,
Do
you want to plug all our things? 'Cause you're so good at it.
So to keep up with all of the Tori Turns 30 activities, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Glad We Talked Podcast. And as always, we want to hear from you. So please, please, please email us if there's something you want to know about, if you have like something weighing on your mind, if there's a person, place, or thing you want to just talk about or hear us talk about, you can email us at gladwetalkedpodcast@gmail.com. And you can listen to our episodes every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple iPod, Apple Podcasts, and
On
wherever
your iPods.
on your iPod. Yes, for this special Tori Turns 30 episode, you have to get out your
Yes,
iPod.
so 90s. I love it.
First generation, or actually your Walkman. We're gonna just send out some like burn CD like
Amazing.
discs. But yeah, so anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can catch us there. And
Thank you for turning 30. I'm so excited for you. Thanks to all our family and friends for supporting us always.
and thanks, Mom, for having me.
Yeah. And Dad.
I'm dead. Oh, yeah.
And thanks for everyone for listening to our second episode. If you made it through 2 episodes, we love you so much.
Well, you can't wait for episode 3. I know it.
Yeah, obviously. They're on the edge of their seats.
Yes. Perfect. So stay there and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Like products that
My mom's calling me.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hold on.
Oh, God.
Are you crying?
No, I made a typo. Dude,
okay?
It feels like
So good.
a cliche movie, but it's so true.
You said cliche, right?
Cliche.
Cliche.
Is this a blooper?
Sure.
This is an extra credit scene.
Bye.
Bye.